Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. Now Aurelion Sol just got finally announced by Riot. He looks to be a mid-range type caster or mage, so I'm assuming he will be played mainly in the mid lane. Personally, this is really exciting for me, obviously being a mid lane player. But throughout this video, I will be going over each of his abilities, hopefully help you understand them a bit better, give you my thoughts on them. And I have to say, he looks absolutely amazing, but a few abilities I feel like could have been a bit more epic. But either way, let's go right into his abilities. So we have his passive, Center of the Universe. For the most part, it is a very simple passive, yet it also seems to be very core in his kit. The passive is exactly as you see. He has 3 stars orbiting around him, and whenever it hits an enemy, well, it's going to be doing damage to them. Very simple by itself, but again, when you combine everything else, it probably will be a lot more complicated. Moving on to his first ability being his Skew, which heavily reminds me of the ability from Diablo on the Wizard. Aurelion Sol fires a skill shot forward, and upon either reactivating the Q or until it reaches its end duration, it'll explode, dealing damage and stunning in an AoE. But what makes this a bit more interesting is, well, he can follow this ability to not only increase its damage and stun radius as he essentially builds it up, but he also makes it travel a little bit farther. So it does seem like this is going to be the main ability when it comes to setting up everything else, your full combo, your burst, maybe getting into range with your passive, wave clear, and a whole bunch of things like that. I'm just curious to see how much damage it really does. Aurelion Sol's W is what really utilizes his passive even further. Upon activation, you push the 3 orbiting stars to his outer ring, or essentially just farther away. But not only does this increase the range in which you can damage opponents with, but it also increases their power. Now unfortunately, this does drain mana as you maintain this, and either you can cancel it or you will run out of mana, whichever comes first. But when you're going in for the harass, maybe going in for the kill, well, I mean, you're gonna want to activate the W, go in for the Q, get the stun damage while traveling with it for even further damage and further stun duration. And this is going to be your primary way to deal damage and harass opponents in the laning phase, or even maybe in team fights. His E ability, Comet of Legend. Now this one feels unique, but it also feels similar at the same time. So the passive effect, moving in the same direction forward, is going to increase your move speed and give you stacks called Escape Velocity. However, taking sharp turns will make you lose the bonus move speed you've so far accrued. Then once you have max stacks of Escape Velocity, you can use the active effect where you can fly across the map for a fairly long duration. This seems like the ideal ability for a mid lane champion because, well, you can use it to go back into lane faster, or you can use it to join your team, maybe at Dragon, maybe at Baron, or you can use it to instead roam maybe top lane, bot lane, somewhere in the jungle. There's a lot of uses, especially for a mage that's a mid-range caster. So this is going to be pretty cool. And last but not least, we have his ultimate, which personally I think could have been a little more epic. But pretty much you fire down a beam similar to maybe like a Lux ultimate, just nowhere near as the same range. You damage everyone, you slow all enemies struck, and people that are caught in the blast are also knocked back to Aurelion Sol's outer ring, which is the W. So this ability seems a little too simple for my liking, but I mean, we'll see how it really works out in the game. The only thing I'm hoping for with this is that it has very high base damage, or at least that it has some good AP scaling. But this is a good way to kind of cut yourself, peel for yourself, maybe set up your Q as well, and also to push them into your passive damage. Alright guys, but that is about it for this video. I mean, there you have it. Aurelion Sol finally released, the first dragon champion in League of Legends. I am very hyped to play him on the PvE, so you can definitely expect those full gameplays coming out later today. He is also a mid lane mage from my understanding, so that's even more reason for me to be hyped. But comment below to let me know your thoughts on Aurelion Sol. Personally, I think his ultimate could have been a little cooler, but that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for future videos and more Aurelion Sol videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.